this time.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Brother Don. So y'all feel how I feel.
Yes.
I'll be wanting to praise and praise and praise. Keep in mind, the brother is humble. And that is, I don't know if he understands or not, but that makes us want to like praise even more.
Yes.
So with all due respect, I'm going to hand this mic over to one of the most phenomenal, humble minds I know, Brother Dominique Holmes.
Thank you everybody for coming out. I know the weather kind of janky today. As he was talking about Aquarius, it is Aquarius season. Yeah, I'm good. But I want to wait till next week, the next time to get to everybody's chart that has Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Rising, or Aquarius Moon. That's because today is a very powerful day. It's the eclipse today. It's going to have about 9 o'clock tonight. And for those of you guys who have your charts and have information about your charts, I want to see, because the eclipse is going to fall at 0, 1 degrees Leo. Everybody has Leo on one of their house cusps. So that area where the eclipse falls is going to have a major impact in your life today. Not today, but over the next 6 months. So if you have your chart or can pull up your chart, I want to give you guys some insight and information about where the eclipse falls and how it will affect you over the next 6 months. In the meantime, I'm going to talk to you guys about Aquarius. As he was saying, Aquarius is natural house placement is the 11th house, the house of friends, our social interaction, and our house of hopes and wishes. Even if you don't have Aquarius on your 11th house cusp, the 11th house is still ruled by those things, and Aquarius might be found somewhere else in your chart. And you look at that, and you look at the planetary rulers. Now, the ancient planetary ruler of Aquarius is Saturn, but the modern day ruler is Uranus. Uranus governs technology and governs astrology. So if you do have a strong placement of Aquarius, you have a natural interest in astrology and technology. A utopian mind state, you want to see a more universal manifestation of consciousness. It's not so much about individualization and self. And unfortunately, that's the society that we find ourselves in today, despite them declaring the age of Aquarius. We find ourselves in a society that's more and more selfish, more and more individualized, more and more detached from community. Now, in the Congo tradition, there's a divination system called Lucy Kanda, which means faces of the community. Kanda means community. Now, in the community, we have to understand, if we want to be a unified community and a community that progresses and achieves and builds up, everybody can't be a diviner, everybody can't be a sorcerer, everybody can't be a witch, everybody can't be a nutritionist. Everybody in traditional society had a role to play to make the society function properly and successfully as a whole. So I want to speak on that in regards to Aquarius, while everybody's still pulling their charts up, about building community and developing strategies to unify and have our energy work together as a cohesive unit to bring about change as a whole. Because more often than not, we find ourselves individualized. But if you look at a bee colony or an ant colony, even a pride alliance, everybody has a role that they play. And that allows these groups to thrive. We come out here every day, every week, every other week, Solar Power Sundays or to other conscious movements. And then after we get our feel, for whatever reason we're here to do it, we forget about community. We forget about the other people in the room that we share the experience with. You know, we forget about the lessons we learn. And that's not how we get ahead. So with Aquarius, I want to talk about the community aspects, you know, spreading universal knowledge and working on our unity and friendships, because it's the natural house of friends and social organizations. You know, whether you're an Eastern Star, a Mason, a Delta, a AKA, a Kappa, Nation Islam, a Moor, all of these social organizations, religious groups, spiritual groups, racial groups, and etc., are all ruled by Aquarius. Because they were formed with the same objective of creating a self-sustained unity, community, for the betterment of the group as a whole. It is my hope that we come here to Solar Power Sunday to help each other as a whole and to help each other as individuals to become whole. That's why I come and I come speak, and I appreciate the opportunity, and I want to see people do well and help each other do well, because there's people that come that are crafts people, there's people that's business people, there's people that are health experts, people that sew, people that make candles, people that make organic skincare, people that have good social network, people that are business people. Unify and network. Don't just allow this to be a place where you come, get some game, and go back out to your individual world. I would like to see people to bring their contact, their business card, share them with each other, let each other know what you do. You know, afterwards, instead of jetting out the door, I know you got your own life. Take 5 and 10 minutes, socialize, see who you need, see who needs you, see how you guys can reciprocate each other's services. That's the energy of Aquarius. Sharing, building up community. Now, the ruler of Aquarius, the ancient ruler of Aquarius, is Saturn. It's Saturn to the Romans, Kronos to the Greeks. Do you know who taught the Greeks? The Egyptians, the Kemetic people. So in Kemetic, Saturn would be Set. Oh shit. Everybody like, oh, Set evil. Set the bad guy, he killed the Cyrus. Let me tell you something. In the Egyptian Book of the Dead, as they so called it, has a saying, there's no part of me that is not of the gods. And it says, Set is my backbone. What does your backbone do? Your backbone keeps you upright. Upright. So without the test that Set brings forth to us, we wouldn't be able to be upright. Yes, sir.
Is that why Jesus said, Satan, you be behind me?
No.
I didn't hear. What did he say?
He said, is that why Jesus said, Satan, get thee behind me? But Set is akin to Satan. That's where they got Satan from. But the Hebrew word Satan means adversary or accuser or tester. And that's what Set does. He brings your temptations and your desires before you. So when a pep comes to challenge you, a pep is the great serpent. That's where they get the serpent and the great dragon in Revelations. That's a pep from Kemet. Now a pep, if you look at my hashtags on my posts, it say slaying a pep in every one of them. Now a pep, that's that dark nature. That's the forces within the universe that don't want to see you do well, that don't want you win. And when I speak about building community, it's because with community, people can lean on each other, and we can change the vibrations of an environment as a whole. Everything works on vibrations. If our vibrations are high, lower entities can't interfere with what the hell we got going on. But if you allow your vibrations to be low, you subject yourself to lower beings. You know what I'm saying? So Set, if you read the Kemetic teachings, you'll see that Set is the only one who was not mesmerized by a pep when he attacks Ra's ship in the darkness. It's Set who stabs a pep in his head, even Tahuti, who they call Thoth,
the creator of words and wisdom, magic, and mathematics, was enchanted by a pebble. But because Set, who mastered his desires, masters all desires, when the peptide of matter arises, Set stabbed him in his head. That's when you look at Egyptian text and you see the serpent with the 5 knives in it, or the 5 spears, that's a pebble. Now, it's Set, the one who brings us temptation, who prepares us when a pep comes to attack. So that's why they say Set is my backbone. Your backbone keeps you upright. You know, the ability to recognize your desires, you know, to recognize temptation for what it is, you know, a distraction, an anchor to keep you from elevating. And like people ask me, they say, okay, if everybody has the ability to develop unlimited spiritual powers, how come it's just not people doing magic taking over the whole world? And I explained to them that, you know, every choice we have has either a consequence or a reward. It's like if we wanted to get downtown from here, you could go straight up, back up Franklin and up Orleans and go down Jefferson, or you could go around and down this way and that way. It's millions of different routes to the same destination. But depending on if you take a turn at 5 o'clock, you might hit a traffic jam. You take a turn to the left, it might be a patch of ice. The universe knows. It knows. And that's why Set comes to tempt us. Because the goal is to become a Sar, or to become Heru, you know, to develop a perfect state of mind, a perfect understanding, you know. But the universe, the deities, the gods, whatever you want to call them, they understand. That's why they say, weigh your heart on the feather. You know, Set come with that temptation. Okay, this guy is interested in magic, not singling you out, brother, but this guy is interested in magic. He's growing spiritually. He got to level A. Let me send this girl to him that's curious to see if he uses his power to seduce her. Bam. He done failed the test. Because he let his ego get in the way of his growth. And now his whole life path has been steered in a different direction by that one decision. So it's always checks and balances within the universe. You know, and it's, you know, temptation isn't a bad thing, and it isn't a good thing. You know, the way we respond to it is what's important. That's what's most important. And the newer ruler of Aquarius is Uranus, and Uranus is, like I said, it's the point that you reach when your temptations don't tempt you anymore. It's that universal mind where your behaviors, your actions, your words, your deeds, they're dictated by the greater good of your community, and the greater good of humanity as a whole. And as you recognize, I don't know if there's an Aquarius in here right now today, you know, or people with an Aquarius boyfriend or girlfriend, you know, you feel like your girlfriend or boyfriend is extra friendly. Like they're extra friendly.
They are right now. Yeah.
But it's not that they're friendly or being flirtatious or being disloyal. They just believe in, you know, the overwhelming embracing their fellow human being. It's not necessarily a sexual interest in that person that they're smiling with or talking with or associating with. Aquariuses are naturally inclined to be social with other human beings. That's their nature. You know, they like to network and share the human experience with other human beings. And some people take that as all Aquariuses are promiscuous. That's not the case. They're giving with their love and sharing humanity and fellowship with other people, because that's what that sign dictates. And every sign in the zodiac is there. People are born into these signs and with this nature to balance out humanity. You know, Aries, that's a warrior. A Capricorn, that's a leader, a general. You know, without a general, Aries will go blind rage and tear up everything. I forgot it's a little kid over there, so I didn't edit my mouth before I talk. But yeah, man, you gotta realize every sign has a purpose. It has a purpose and a point where it brings balance and equilibrium to the universe. Yes, sir.
I thought Libra was the general of the cosmos.
Libra is the sign of balance, and Kemetic would be Mayat.
Right. Well,
And Mayat is the principle of balance and equilibrium. That is the ultimate ruler of everything. But as you can see, we have free will, and our free will has dictated to one of the lesser scales, kind of tip the scale, you know, to explain things, you know, people will take knowledge, a little bit of the truth, and weave it around with a bunch of lies. You know, if you want to look at the Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, they all have the same core. They all have you worship the same ancestors. Moses, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Jesus. All of them have you honoring those ancestors, but they'll tell you forget about your own. And they'll take principles that are embedded in the reptilian part of the brain, the subconscious, the core of the brain is in every human being's brain. And they'll remix it, like the story of Noah's Ark is from the Babylonian Gilgamesh epic. The story of David and Goliath is from the tales of Sinhu in Egypt. The Proverbs and the Songs of Solomon, those are the teachings of Put-Hotep and Amen-Hotep. You know, they'll take these truths that have been around thousands of years before the Bible or even the invention of Hebrew people, because if you look in the Bible, it tells that the Hebrew people were a designated group of people who were just wanderers from the land of earth. That's what's in the Bible. And Abraham changed his name from Abram to Abraham. You know, this is a created, chosen people. And I don't care who says I'm anti-Semitic, that's the facts that are stated in their book. Whether it's the Torah, the Talmud, Mishnah, Talmud, Gemara, I read it all, I studied it all. I read Hebrew, I can read Latin, I can read Greek. I studied it all. So I'm telling you based on facts. You know, they'll take a little bit of the truth and weave a bunch of deception around it and present it as truth because it's that seed of truth in it. Now, if you don't take it upon yourself to read and study these things, that's your fault. You fell for the trick. Instead of you being diligent, you wanted to be lazy and be led and ended up getting misled. Because more often than not, people don't want the responsibility of taking care of their own energy or their own spiritual path. As long as I got the devil to blame for the bad shit and God to blame for my glory, I don't got to be responsible for nothing. Even though you went to school and studied for your nurse exam for 3 years to become an RN, you passed that test, you the one who stayed up till 12 o'clock studying. But you passed the test and say, won't he do it? You knew this guy had a wife. You knew this guy had a wife. You went and slept with this man anyway. His wife pulled up on you and knocked you all upside the head. The devil is busy.
But you made the choice.
Right, but you did that. You created the conditions for that to happen, but the devil's busy. You know? So every part of the zodiac imparts our society with everything that we need. Everything that we need to be balanced. But as I was telling Asa when I did his astrology reading, I said our astrology chart, our natal chart, is just a blueprint of the energy that is within your soul when you choose to manifest into this body. You know, life circumstances and free will change how you experience and project that energy. Somebody with a sun in the 12th house, they can go to prison or they can be a prison god. So astrology gives us knowledge and information about the energy that our soul has for this incarnation, but we also always have free will. It's like a lot of people be on Instagram and Facebook blaming their thoughtism on Oshun. Oshun wasn't a thought though. She was sexy, she was appealing, she used her feminine power to attract things that she wanted. But Oshun never messed with a married man. Oshun never had more than one partner at one given time. Ever. You know, people say, I'm Ogun, that's why I got these straps, that's why I go upside these cats' heads. You never know no battle where Ogun engaged anybody who wasn't a threat to him, or if it wasn't on the pursuit of justice. You know, people take a little bit of truth and know that you know about this archetype and what this archetype is related to, and then weave a bunch of lies around it or blame their personal behavior on it. And 9 times out of 10, these people that are claiming Ogun and Oshun don't even have a Yoruba ancestor. How that work? I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm just talking. You know, I don't know that much. I'm just saying what I observed. You know, but the zodiac gives us everything that we need, but we had a choice whether we're going to apply it or not. The same thing with the Bible. Bible is a book of instructions. Quran is a book of instructions. They have truth in them. All of them have truth in them because they're all based on the truth. They're all based on original truth, absolutely. All based on original truth. But if you can't be responsible for sorting out the BS from the truth, that's your fault. You know, we're here to be spiritual beings. You never heard any spiritual person telling you about religion. You have to be this, you have to do this, you have to practice this. You know, a lot of the traditional religions or spiritual practices that we're now familiar with because people go visit Africa or visit Peru or Haiti or whatever, you know, they come back and present their understanding. But every Haitian isn't a Hunan or a Mambo because they understand everybody in society has a place. Everybody ain't meant to get an initiation. Everybody ain't meant to be a priest. Everybody in society has a role they must play in order for society to work and function as a machine. You don't have 10 transmissions in your car. Your car wouldn't work with 10 transmissions because it wouldn't fit under the hood of your vehicle. You understand what I'm saying? So Aquarius is about everybody in the community doing their part in the community, their role. It might not be the role that you want, but it's the role that you're fit to do to make the community work as a whole. New ruler, the modern day ruler of Aquarius, Uranus, that is about everybody coming together. You know, after you have an understanding of your temptations that are presented by Set, after you understand those temptations and you master those temptations, you gain that universal mindset. When people talk about my third eye open, you know, the third eye represents knowledge. When you know something, it's not based on your perception anymore. You know, our perception is based in the root chakra, which is governed by fear. Mm-hmm. If you look at society today, you'll see that more than 95% of the drama is created by fear.
Yes.
Greed is created by fear.
Yes.
Racism, hate,
Yes.
you know, envy. Those are all products of fear.
Yes.
You got some brother, man, I'm not scared of shit. I'm not scared of nobody. But in all actuality, and I'm telling you from personal experience, you know, the people that have been here before, they know I've been in prison. I did a stretch in prison for murder. You know, some people looking at me different. How are they telling us all this stuff? he done killed somebody. I love it. I love it, you know. But, you know, I was that guy. I was that shooter. I was that guy that would poke something on the yard too, you know, in a heartbeat. But it wasn't because I was the baddest motherfucker there.
Right.
It was because I was scared to afford someone an opportunity to do something to me. Fear brought out my viciousness.
Yes.
Not valiantry, you know, fear.
Fear.
And you have to understand, you know, you see these racist people on TV, build a wall. They fear.
Fear.
They fear becoming a minority, but they've been a minority
All along.
for the whole time.
Right.
In the 30s, if you weren't Anglo-Saxon or German or from you know, Northern Europe, Finland, Denmark, Germany, Austria, Britain, France,
Russia.
you were not considered white. Even the Irish weren't considered white. Italians weren't considered white. You can get on your phone today and research, and you will find signs that say, no niggers, no spics, no Jews, no wops.
That's true.
Yep, yep.
As the populations grew in America, first they incorporated Irish into being white.
Yeah.
Then they incorporated Jews into being white. Then when the Italians lightened up their skin, they incorporated the Italians into being white.
Polish.
And they accepted the Polish, you know, when they first came over here. But all of these became accepted parts of white in the census. And now, if you look on the census, it's not just 4 or 5 options, it's like 12 options. Hispanic non-white, Latino white, you know, all these different options because they fear being the minority. You know, build the wall based on fear. No DACA based on fear. But the fact is, every scientist, computer engineer, doctor, none of them are from here. Not even 10% of the top people in tech, medicine, are from the United States. The United States is great because we harvest the greatest minds from all around the world and bring them here. But they'll tell you otherwise. But if you look at the executive board of Google, Facebook, IBM, medical boards, what they call the Heart Society, they're not from here. But they'll perpetuate the fear because they fear of being a minority. They don't want more people to come because we're going to be the minority. That's fear. You know, we don't want black people to vote because if black people can vote, we can lose our power. That's fear. Everything they do is motivated by fear. You know, oh, these gangs are coming over, the Crips are coming over in my hood. Let's go shoot them up. That's on fear. Because we know over here that the only reason we're economically stable is because a couple of us can sell drugs. Now these guys are coming over from over there to sell drugs. We got to kill them because you fear losing your economic stability and power. You know, fear is one of the biggest things that cripples our society, and that's what causes the fall of our society. Because right now, if you look at the news, it's about to be February. People aren't going to get their WIC. They're not going to get their food stamps. They're not going to get their Section 8. Military, defense contractors, they're not going to get paid. The businesses that they patronize are not going to receive that income from those people going to them. So the mightiest nation on the earth is going to be destroyed by fear. By fear.
That's right. Roman Empire crumbling all around.
Time to die.
What'd you say, brother?
I said it's time to die.
You know it. it doesn't necessarily have to be time to die, because if the right people do the right things, any society can flourish. But who's going to be courageous enough to do the right thing? And who's going to sit back silent? You know, I tell people, you look at another one of my hashtags on all my posts and say, enlightenment is the revolution. So it doesn't matter if they killed me today. If I planted a seed in one person, that person is going to plant the seeds in other people. Enlightenment is the revolution. We had to come together. Universal, that's what the age of Aquarius is supposed to be about. And they declared that was supposed to happen in the end of the 1800s. And we still ain't got it right. We still ain't got it right. It's still a very much Capricorn, selfish energy. You know, energy of Capricorn is more selfish and restricted, you know, if you allow it to be. You know, because Capricorn energy, it can restrict and isolate, or it can build foundations. Because Saturn rules the bones. The bones are the foundation. You know, having a strong foot. You know. But we, as a community, have to embrace the energy of Aquarius. Network, have compassion for your fellow human being, and I know we're all able to discern, you know, a junkie from a person in need. You know, so if you see somebody in need and they're not, you know, a junkie trying to get a fix, help that person. Even if you have to reroute your route, hit the Dollar Tree and get some gloves and get that person some gloves. What you did may leave an imprint on that person's mind that can make them change their whole life. You know, we take for granted how the things we deem insignificant can be a significant moment in other people's lives and create a total transformation. I apologize for talking y'all ears off. I want to look at some of y'all charts if you got them up. Rather we had yours first. No, I'm not doing the sun and moon today. I'm doing the eclipse, where the eclipse happens in your chart. How it affects you. Yeah, everybody.
According to that link I gave you, you got India.
Brother, the eclipse is going to occur in your 12th, the 12th house. So over the next 6 months, it's important that you keep a journal, meditate, and get in tune with yourself. Rid yourself of the fears you have in regards to your confidence.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a quick one today because I took up everybody's time yesterday.
Thank you very much, sir.
Next.
Natal chart. That link, I sent you that link a couple of weeks ago. Remember that link?
Your eclipse is in your 10th house. 10th house governs your career and your place in the world. What do you mean? Oh, no.
Airplane mode.
Well, it's over the next 6 months is the best time to get it popping.
Turn it off.
And, you know, it's okay to go at it with a dramatic flip.
Astrology. No, I sent you a link.
Astrolab.com.
Go back to your text. Go to your text. I'll send you that link. That website. I wrote it down.
What's this one?
Go to astro.com.
Oh, Astro.
Here.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what I have. That's what I have. I have for you. Lady.
Leo is in your 4th house, brother. This is what I'm tell you. Any childhood issues that you have that been holding you back, let them things go. They're going to be put to your face, acknowledge them, and move on from it. Because you don't have no control over what happened to you as a child. You can only control as you allow it to affect you. Don't, you know, if you shoot somebody, you're not going to walk around with your dead body on your back. You dig what I'm saying? So, work on those issues, let that go, and start establishing your own family and your own traditions and your own ways. Yes, ma'am. Oh, it's cool. Fourth house Leo too. So you need to work on issues with your childhood and get that closure that you desire to. And it's okay to have your own traditions. Just like I told him, if the family thing didn't work out and the parents and stuff aren't on good terms and you don't agree with the traditions that they had, establish your own traditions. The fourth house is about building your own foundation and a solid foundation. And it's because it's in Leo, it's okay to show your swag and be proud of your swag. Nice. 11th house. Now's the time. Everything I was just talking about up here. Build good relationships, getting into better social habits, finding good friends and healthy groups to involve yourself in to get away from the negativity and the bullshit and the drama. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I apologize. I didn't mean to cut. I need to put the drama and the negativity. Find you some new associates. It'll look good on you. Over the next 6 months, you'll be able to associate with some people that will get you active and get you productive and have you taking the initiative that you need to take in your life. Because the eclipse is going to contact your Mars. So that's about all initiation and taking initiative and forward moving energy. Who next? Who got that? So is the entering your natal chart, or it's like, okay. Pull up the natal one. You just got to put your trends and stuff like that.
Saturn rules the bones. Like Sagittarius rules the bones.
You got the third house. Third house, which has to do with learning, education, and communication. Also traveling, but not long distance travel. Travel within your community, travel within your mind. You need to get out. You need to get out and make yourself aware of more things. And the more you communicate with people and build a network, the better you will be and work on your relationships with your siblings too, especially your elders, because that rules your third house.
I guess it's within the next 6 months.
Next. Okay, I'm going to get everybody, I promise. Where's your target? Yeah. You got to put your birthday and time in. Go to Astro. Tell them the site. Astro.com or alade.com.
alade.com.
What's the other one you know?
Alade, A-L-A-D-E. D-E? Yeah, .com. You need to pay attention to your health, little sister. Oh, did yours, brother? Okay, you gotta watch your health. And if you're looking for employment, this is a good time for you to have employment. But if you're an employer, you need to find better employees. Better employees that are going to take pride in your business like you take pride in your business. Because in the 6th, you have Saturn which kind of puts limitations on things. But as I said, Saturn also builds up strong foundations. So you need to start employing people that are going to represent your business. Like, I'm glad to be here. I love what I'm doing. This is a phenomenal job, and we take our job serious, and we do great things. That's what you need to focus on over the next 6 months. Now, if you fail to do so, don't be surprised if your finances have limits. You might not be worried, but I'm telling you what I see, man. You can be getting $1 million a month, but if your employees show enthusiasm, you turn that $1 million into $5 million, how much better would you feel? Okay. You got the eighth house eclipse. This is a time where you probably might be trying to conceive, or a time where you start a regeneration and rebirth cycle, because the eighth house rules transformation, rebirth, sex for the purpose of conception, and it also rules other people's money. So I would recommend to you to focus on if you're in charge of other people's money, or if you're supported by other people's money, you use it to the maximum advantage. You know, because if you have people that help you today, they might not be here tomorrow. So if you're financially dependent on other people and they bless you, make sure that you're able to make that blessing multiply for yourself. That makes sense to you? Okay. 11. So you got to work on your social, the people you socialize with. Try to change that, evolve your social status, find better people that reflect your character and your nature, that are okay with being around people that shine too. You know, I feel like you communicate with people that like to dim your light, and that's not a good thing, because that takes away from your solar plexus chakra, which governs your self-esteem. You understand what I'm saying? So if somebody ain't good and they ain't uplifting you like you uplift them, kick them to the curb. There's a lot of people that rather be your friends than be good friends to you, sister.
Right. Because I love you.
Next.
Right here.
Okay, I'm gonna get her, then she got to unlock her phone?
Here we go.
Okay. Ooh-wee. Leo in the second. Focus on second house. Second house rules your values, your money, and your self-worth. So over this next 6 months, work on rebuilding your self-esteem, putting the things that you value first, including your moral values, which means doing something that you don't particularly care to do, which is speak up. If people is treading on your moral values, doing things that diminish your personal self-worth, tell them I'm not going for this SHIT. See, I caught myself this time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is hers.
Who? Okay. 10th house. It's time for you to start making your place in the world. You got Leo on the 10th house, the eclipse occurring in your 10th house. You are supposed to be out on the front line. Leo on the 10th house means you out there, present your ideas, present your thoughts, being a charismatic leader. You got that natural quality. Get that self-esteem together and make it happen. Leo is the king of these. A lioness on your 10th house and your sun in Leo. So how is you allowing somebody to tell you and dictate your self-worth and set your standard of beauty. Get it together.
Mm-hmm.
What they say, boss your life up. Stop letting people set the standard of beauty for you.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? I gotta get over here. I told them over here. I got your neck. I got your neck.
We need to see it sign by sign.
No, I got it. Eclipse is occurring in your 4th house too. Childhood issues. Let it go. Let it go. Set your own traditions. Base yourself on the family structure you create for yourself. You have to, because this eclipse is next to the planet Chiron, which is the planet of healing. But Chiron, when he refuses to heal himself, he suffers eternally because he's immortal. So the wounds that you experience from your childhood will haunt you forever if you don't deal with them during this time.
Mm.
You can tuck them down and try to repress them all you want. They're going to come out in a warped fashion, and you're not going to like it. If you cut somebody off, it's not because you don't love them. It's because you love yourself.
More.
There's a lot of people in my family that I love, and I do not F-U-C-K with them at all.
That's true.
Okay, you got a 7th house. I did her chart too, so I'm gonna tell your business right quick.
Mm.
She made a business investment, and the 7th house rules business partnerships. So the eclipse is happening in that house over the next 6 months. You're gonna do very well.
Mm.
But because Leo is there, Leo means you gotta take center stage. Like, here go my business. This is what we do, and we do it real good. So come shop with us. All right? Make your business known.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Just sign up. Damn.
I'll be over there making my way. I'm trying to. I got you. Did you put your chart in?
Yeah.
Okay. 9th house. First 9th house. The sister over here gonna be on her spiritual game over the next 6 months. You might go back in school, or you might take up a spiritual form of knowledge, and it's good to travel abroad. Long distance travel. Where you say you going?
Brazil.
Well,
Rio de Janeiro, no.
be careful over there.
Yeah, I know that.
Be careful over there. But you're gonna be good to go because you got Mars over there. You got Mars right there conjoined in your 9th house in Leo. That's a protective thing. You're gonna be good. I'll be seeing you before you go.
Okay.
Take care. A lot of people 4th house operating on the eclipse. Another one. You know, again, childhood trauma, past relationships, setting your own path, building your own foundation, making your own destiny, and putting an end to things that hunt you from the past. It's your time.
Yes.
It's your time to shine. For everybody who got this 4th house eclipse popping up over the next 6 months, for the people that I told you that the eclipse is happening in your 4th month, you had the opportunity to create a new life for yourself. Because the 4th house is the house of endings too. So you can put an end to all the drama and BS that you carry from the past and live your best life.
Yes.
It's a choice. A choice.
Yes.
You're welcome. What's going on, man? Eclipse is in your 1st house, brother. 1st house rules your You're seen by the world, and you're perceived by the world. You need to take more responsibility for your image. Because if we allow others to dictate how we see, and I think I remember right, you're an artist. Don't let nobody govern how your art is seen or how your art manifests. It's your time for the world to see you in the way you want to be seen. And because it's happening in your first house, that gives you the ability to be seen as a great artist over the next 6 months. So don't hold back and don't put yourself in nobody else's mold. If they worried about you outshining them, bump them. That's their problem, not yours. Okay, brother. You got that first house too. And your eclipse is gonna be can you go to alab.com because it's gonna cut the house into proper sections. Yeah. alab.com. Let me get her and I get you. Ninth house. You've been keeping a secret that you've been studying different spiritual stuff than what you was taught when you was growing up. Mm-hmm. It's time for you to let people know. I'm not going to church. I don't believe in that. I'm not going. You got to use your voice. You got to let people know what you believe. And you got to be willing to, shine. You got to shine with your spiritual beliefs and your personal beliefs. Those are the things that add to your self-worth. So the more you repress that, the more you repress your self-worth. You want to repress your self-worth? You want to destroy your confidence? Let people know if you don't believe in what they believe, we don't got to believe the same thing, but this is what I believe, this is what makes me feel whole and complete, and this is how I'm riding. You dig? You got the sixth house. Now, as I told the brother up here who has his own business, now whether you're an employer or an employee, you need to make sure that people see your work. If you're working for somebody else and you know you're qualified to do this and you know you do a good job at that, stand out. Be proud of your level of achievement and your ability to do the tasks that you do. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody block your life. Don't do it. I feel like let me get to these other people I'm talking to you before I go. Don't take a chart down. Take a shot. Okay, here we go. The eclipse is occurring in your 12th. Which gives you the opportunity, and is conjunct Uranus, which gives you the opportunity to receive some spontaneous information and profound information in your meditation that help you release a lot of karmic energy that you carry. The past is the past, but you can say it is, but at the same time you cling to it. So over the next 6 months, you're going to be afforded opportunities to purge and let that go. Move on from that. My man. Yes, sir. Now the 12th house. 12th house. Again, 12th house is about karma. It's about spiritual gifts. It's about 12th house also
rules and governs prisons, mental asylums, mental health issues, and substance abuse. Over the next 6 months, if you drink, you don't need to be drinking. You know, don't let anybody encourage you to go on no mushroom trips or anything like that to help you reach a higher level of spirituality, because when the eclipse happens in your 12th house and you do that, you won't come back.
Wow. Wow.
9th house. You're going to continue to grow spiritually, aspire for higher levels of knowledge, and make sure you put your knowledge on display and that you're properly compensated for the information and wisdom that you share with people. Stop being modest. This will do. 12th house. Don't get down and out about the 12th house, because, as I said, you know, the 12th house, it rules karma. It rules, you know, substance abuse and places, you know, of seclusion. You know, so even if you're not a person that uses drugs and try to escape your reality, the 12th house affords the opportunity to look within yourself and, you know, detach yourself from the things going on with your family, friends, and loved ones over the next 6 months, to where you can heal and become the best version of yourself. You take that in, sister? Does that apply to both of y'all? Okay. 12th house too. This is yours? Did you hear what I said the last 2 times about the clubhouse? Staying away from drugs and alcohol, meditating, looking within yourself. And because you got Mars right there in your 12th too, so the eclipse is going to be attached to it. Be active, and retreat from being the caretaker. And take care of yourself. There's other things in your chart that depict sickness if you do not. You need to retreat from taking care of other people. Actively retreat. Because when you're taking care of everybody, you're not taking care of yourself, and you're absorbing the negative energy that they carry. So if you do not retreat from being a caretaker, playing Captain Save 'em, you are going to get sick. And sickness that manifests from negative energy manifests as autoimmune diseases and cancer. Because the toxic energy disrupts the vibration of your aura and mutates the cells. It causes the body to attack itself. Stop being everybody's savior. The eclipse is going to happen in your 7th. Your 7th house is partnerships, business relationships. If you are in a relationship or a marriage, you need to make sure that you're getting the proper attention you need. If you feel like you want to go out to dinner or out on a date, say it. Closed mouths don't get fed, and you will hold resentments against people for stuff that you didn't ask for. Not everybody can read your mind, sister. So do your part in your relationship. Any business stuff you got going on, make sure the paperwork is right and that you take the lead, because you have good negotiating skills right now.
So take the lead. And let me see. The majority of the time, you will see that in the negotiation, you get everything that you want. You're welcome. Who was that?
Me.
Okay. Can you vote on this one, please? Hey, Larry. Who else I didn't get? Yeah, I think the whole room out here. The eclipse is in your 7th house. This is your 7th house. Cancer, and your 8th house starts at 4 degrees Leo, so the eclipse occurs at 1 degree Leo, so it's still in your 7th house. Yes, ma'am.
What's so different about this eclipse?
It's not that it's different, it's that eclipses occur twice a year, and wherever they occur in your chart, that energy affects you for 6 months. It's a concentrated energy. That if you're aware of where because like each house governs an area of your life. So if you're aware where this powerful energy is in your chart, you can capitalize on that energy and use it to your benefit. It's like telling you where to plug in for free Wi-Fi from the universe. Got the free Wi-Fi from the universe, you download all the information you need. Grow, get better, whatever you're trying to do. You find it? Just put it alay.com. Any other questions while she getting her stuff ready? Yes, sir.
Okay, so you spoke about the confidence thing with me, but I find sometimes me, when I'm not trying to exude confidence, it's already there, it's taken as something else.
Like arrogance?
Yeah, so when you say...
Whose problem is that?
Theirs.
So why are you asking?
Well, you're saying that you go ahead and boost your confidence up. If I put it on 10, I'll be hated.
Brother, it's a way to present yourself as confident, and you can't control how anybody else feels. You can only control how you allow it to affect you. You know, confidence is being able to speak on things that you're knowledgeable about, or things that concern you. It's not just about feeling yourself. It's about feeling comfortable with yourself so that you can project your energy outwards and share that energy with other people. You know what I'm saying? When I say confidence, I'm not just talking about, you know, I feel this swag, I feel good, I look good, you know, I'm the best basketball player. You know, because a lot of that is false confidence projected from the ego. You know, real confidence is the ability to be yourself in every situation.
And that scares me.
Whose problem is that?
Theirs. It's so scary.
7th house. 7th house, relationships, partnerships. Also 7th house rules any legal stuff you got going on. So if you have any lawsuits pending or court cases pending, you're really going to shine in those. But this is also a time, because it's the 7th house, if you know you're not living up to your own expectations in your relationships, this is the time to change it. It's your time to, you know, let people know that you're not their doormat, and that you value yourself enough to be without them rather than be with them and get dogged out. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
What would be the way to look at this and tell what house you know, man?
What, for your eclipse or what?
Maybe it's like a 101 question.
Oh.
Okay, we'll be back to do.
Okay, this line right here on the left, that's your first house, and then that's your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th house, 11, 12.
So counterclockwise starting from the right.
Yeah,
Starting from the center.
Yeah, the ascendant. Yep. Counterclockwise. Yep. From the east. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Where's she at? Is she listening?
I recorded this.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, get her. No, that's something. No, that's something totally different. Yeah. Yeah, the website. And I got some cards here. I'm gonna pass them around, brother.
Somewhere I do it to on the way out.
Yeah. But it doesn't start with it starts right here. The outer ring is where the sign starts, and then the inner line is where the house starts. Each sign is 30 degrees, no matter what. So it's 360 degrees in the chart. Each sign has 30 degrees. But each house doesn't have to have 30 degrees. The size of the house varies depending on where you were born and what time you were born. Not the same thing doesn't go for both of y'all because y'all planets aren't in the same position. But seventh house energy is seventh house energy, but depending on the planetary position, that changes how the eclipse affects you because it attaches to different planets in your chart. That's your God. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Dominic. Yes, ma'am.
Where the girl go who asked about her mind? Oh, somebody asked me to read for their mom. Their mom's in there.
Yeah, I stay at Eclipse. Question? Okay.
We're gonna call you for a reading.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Excuse me.
I was reading something about the 22nd degree of your chart, and it has something to do with like the way of your year.
You say what?
Said something about the 22nd degree of whatever house it is. It has something to do with like the way of the heal.
If somebody has the ability to heal you, they got the ability to heal. The 20 about your chart?
No, about like in general, like just like
Explain it to me.
about
Let me read.
like the 22nd degree.
Oh, I'm not familiar with this.
I don't want to know when anybody die. I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this. But like you said, astrology in Serbia, I'm not familiar with that. That's European stuff. I'm not here. Not to say it's not valid. I'm just saying I'm not qualified to speak on it.
The food is sounding good, but I don't know if I eat anything.
11th house. Got another 11th house. And for everybody who I talk to about the 11th house, 11th house is about networking, but it's mostly about your friendships and your social circle. Bad associations spoil useful habits.
Yes.
Bad associations spoil useful habits. So, if the eclipse is in your 11th house and you got people that ain't for the right thing around you, go on and kick them on to the side and start dealing with people that resonate with your frequency. Because if they're not going forward with you, they standing still or going in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And the laws of energy and laws of nature, if something's standing still or running in the opposite direction, one of y'all gonna get yanked the other way. Especially if they standing still and you going forward. The one that's standing still is fixed.
Right.
You're fixed in their position. So you only gonna be able to run so far before they snatch you back into the bullcrap.
Nice analogy.
Well, who else? Everybody get done? Oh, okay. Okay. Brother?
Thank you, King. While we on the astrology topic, Brother Dominic did a reading for me January 7th, like you said. And he mentioned, I'll just tell you a couple things on my chart, just to do a little advertisement real quick, and highly recommend it that you go to the website and get one for yourself. It's not that expensive, but he said that I would have to get used to or get out of my little timid, shy minded shell and learn how to use other people's money. And my Bible used to be on my head. Like, I see that shoot sponsors and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, no, if they could do it, we could do it from the bottom up and talking all this smack. But it clicked and I understood what he was saying. Because I had a guilt, like somebody worked something that's supposed to be their check that they spending on them, is mine. But, he mentioned I had Venus and Gemini, which was like abundance and wealth, etc., from all different types of angles. But mind you, January 7th, he told me about the usage of other people's money. And less than a week later, I want to say like 7 days. Mind you, it's not even February yet. We're still in January. This is like the 14th or something like that. I had, at this point right now, and this is knowledge after the reading up until right now, 3 different trips paid for that people want me to come speak. And I'm talking about the one of them is one of them is another state, but the other 2 are in August, Jamaica, all expenses paid, and then also you guys know about St. Croix. Kamani take us the $5,000 retreats to exotic places in the islands or whatever. We're going to St. Croix, all exclusive trips paid or whatever. But that's the level of accuracy. That's what my point is. Get your reading so you will know what moves to make and what to say yes to and what to rock with, what to harmonize with. In addition to that, he mentioned going back to school using other people's money. And mind you, a few days later, not even a week, one of my elders called me up like, we got this one elder that just wants to help the conscious community, but he don't see nothing worth it, and we think you're the best thing since whatever. And he wants to send you back to school, to whatever school you want to get a doctorate for this, that, and third. And I'm like, what? Mind you, if I didn't get the reading, I would have been like, I don't know who that is, I'm going to just do it myself, blah, blah, blah. But that will alleviate me from some unnecessary pressures, etc., etc. So do yourself a favor. No matter how much it costs to get you a reading, just so you can have the light and the knowledge to move in the proper direction appropriately. I highly recommend it. And that's just one of the services the brother offers. But check out the cards. If anybody didn't get one, it's some right by the door, by the front on the table too. You could visit the Instagram too, Red Claw Conjuring. I'll write that on the board. You should write it in red.
Red Claw. What's going on?
IG is Instagram for all you old folks in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pastor, can I jump in real quick?
Yes, please.
We have more of your teas that are still available back here if you want to mention what's in the tea.
Perfecto. Spring water, lemon or lime, ginger, cayenne, raw organic honey, sea moss. So it's designed to upload into the body all the necessary minerals you need while detoxing and nourishing the body at the same time. You can make it at home yourself too, as a concoction. And it's super, super simple. Highly recommend it for the winter time, cold, flu symptoms, circulation, etc., etc.
Also, we have salads back there that are loaded with lots of greens. We've got dandelion, fenugreek, watercress. There's mushrooms, avocado, red onion. Everything in it has some health benefit, mostly cardiovascular, a lot of respiratory system benefits, also good digestive benefits in the greens that are included in the food. There's lotus root inside of the salad, which is good for the immune system. And the chili is thebomb.com. So, if you're looking for your meal for the evening, make sure you guys stop into the conference room and you'll be good to go. And there's also smoothies that are not ice-filled smoothies.
Yeah.
They are real, hearty, filling. It's a meal in itself. There's banana walnut, and there's also strawberry banana walnut. They are delicious. And so make sure you stop in the conference room. Get your meal for the night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. What was I about to? Dang. Baba Kabaka. Made me lose my thought. Solo Power Collective. That was not what I was going to say. But when I remember, I will grab you guys. Dang, man. When I remember, I'll get the mic. Everybody look back at Baba Kabaka.
Yes.
Say, dang, Baba.
Dang,
Do something good. All right, something good to tell you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
Yes.
Anybody who is bugging me about CMOS, the manufacturer wanted me to communicate to you all that it is a very tedious process, blah, blah, blah. Be patient, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is not something you can find in stores.
Right.
Everybody and their mama got CMOS all over the place. This is not that same level. Not to knock what anybody else is doing, but this is Conjurer's Crispus, which is like the Bentley or Rolls Royce strand of CMOS combined with soursop and clove, yielding all 102 minerals off the periodic table. Jam-packed nutrition. So, when I bug him, I be blaming it on y'all. So I'm just communicating his response. Just be patient. If you want to pre-order, I'll write my Cash App on the board or hit me up and bug me for the next 7 days or whatever. And it'll be in about Thursday, Friday. Peace. He's actually from St. Thomas. He gets his from the tropical areas and he hand selects it, handcraft, picks, everything. Not just getting a whole bunch of bundles. He gets the exact ones he wants to utilize. I'll DM you. Yeah. So, and to piggyback off of what Brother Dom said, has anybody been to Universal Soul Circus?
Yes.
And y'all see how amazing it is? If
Yes.
you haven't been to that,
Yeah. Very serious.
they don't really, it's not like conscious stuff, but the people who are putting it on, they're extremely conscious. You can tell by how they execute the performances. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, when I went to Kenya, what tribe? The Maasai tribe. Anybody seen the people with the clay that they put inside their hair and they get in the sun and they jumping like 20,000 feet in the air? The particular tribe, we actually went amongst them. You got to learn a lot. I got my lion's tooth from them. I got that big hammer-looking thing that you saw on Black Panther from them, the club,
Yes.
etc., etc. Either he hired some brothers from the Maasai tribe, or they got trained by them. But they jumping off of 20-foot poles, stilts, lions, all types of crazy stuff. My point for bringing it up was that it's a collected contribution from all these amazing types of abilities. But eventually, instead of us just yapping on the mic, we would love for it to be conducive to everybody's time and schedule or whatever, but we want to make sure it includes all of the gifts and talents present in the office too, in the building. So if anybody wants to take this time to network, I know usually when they say that, everybody just be looking and keeping enjoying their food. If you don't know somebody, or if you are interested in what you know about somebody, this will be the time to harmonize with them, blend in. And eventually, from those types of reps, you know, we could bring it back to myself, Madame, Matoya, and implement it in Solar Power Sundays. This is not my thing. I'm just a human. I'm your brother. You know what I'm saying? This is our thing, whoever comes, and we should all be able to reap the benefits. You got a business you wanted to start. What if everybody uploaded it on their social media? You know what I'm saying? That's like 30, 40, 50 posts that thousands of people could see, you know, versus you having to do all the hard, tedious work yourself. So I want to piggyback and just say that I second that idea, very much so. But we're going to wrap it up. Food in the back. If you have your cell phone with you, please come get some screenshots of these books that are associated with or pertaining to this 11th polarity that we call Aquarius. And if you got in late, come see me so I can give you a little rundown about this Harataki fruit, so I don't have to repeat myself. And with that being said, thank you so much.